So something really cool and really exciting happened last week. I got a chance to be an audience at the Kapil Sharma Show. Yeah, not as exciting as it sounds, but it was a pretty good experience. And I think it's a good topic to make a video about. So here I am talking to you about my experience at the Kapil Sharma Show. Naturally, you guys have a lot of questions in your mind right now. Number one being, how the hell did I get to enter the Kapil Sharma Show as an audience? How was the experience like? Is Kapil as rude as he is portrayed by the media? Who the celebrities were? How was the experience to see the crew perform live at the stage? I'm going to answer all of these questions, so just rest assured, watch this video till the end, and let's talk about the Kapil Sharma Show. Now, personally, I am not that big of a fan of Kapil Sharma. I prefer my comedy to be a little more self-aware, a little more nuanced, but my parents are pretty good fans of him, and that is actually how I got entry into the show. So turns out you do not have to pay to get into the show. All you have to do is reach out to the Kapil Sharma Show team. You can do that on Twitter. You can find out their email IDs. You can send a letter to them, and that's how you get into the show. You get on the guest list. You reach out to the Kapil Sharma Show team. You convince that you have a genuine case, which in my case was that it was my parents' 32nd wedding anniversary that we went to celebrate in Bombay 6th to 8th of February, and that is how my dad was able to convince the Kapil Sharma team to give us an audience into the show. Turns out they actually do ask you at the entrance whether anyone actually paid to get into the show, and you don't have to do that. You don't have to pay anyone anything. You have to get yourself on the guest list, preferably by reference from someone in the crew, the production crew, the performance crew, and you're set to be in the audience. And now let's talk about how the experience of being on the Kapil Sharma Show's sets was. So we're gonna divide this into three very simple parts. Part 1, before the shoot begins, during the shoot, and finally what happens after the shoot. So we reached the venue, which was in Film City, Goregaon, at around 2:15. We were asked to be there by 3, so my parents being super conscious, they reached there at 2:15. We got the entry into the studio at 3:15. Turns out you're not allowed to carry anything into the studio. You are supposed to deposit your mobile phones, wallets, except for house keys and some cash. Probably you're not allowed to carry anything. You can deposit them outside or just not bring them in the first place. Turns out there were actually a lot of people waiting in line who were not in the guest list. Young guys who just came to Film City to travel and were wondering and hoping with all their might that they get to enter the Kapil Sharma Show as an audience. They do actually, and we'll talk about that later. We got in there at 3:15. The shoot began at 5:15, and there's a lot that happens in those 2 hours. Number one, the production team decides who sits where. In the message that they send you when you are confirmed to be on the guest list, they tell you to wear bright clothes, and yet people choose to wear dark clothes, and those people are automatically sent to the back. I fortunately was wearing a very bright pink kurta, so I got to sit in the front. Even my mother, who was wearing a very nice, very colorful green sari, got to sit in the front. I think it took an hour for the production team to decide who sits where, and now begins the interesting part. So everyone wonders, how do they pick the people who get to talk to the celebrity? Turns out the production crew announces and asks the audience if there's anyone who wants to showcase their talent or who wants to be a part of the show. There are naturally a few people that raise their hands. They're asked to then perform on the stage to see if they can actually act in front of the camera, and that's how they decide who does what. There was one very old lady, I think around 65-70, who performed a very nice classical dance. Sadly, her part got cut out from the actual episode. And that's what happened in the 2 hours. Briefing the audience, in fact, about how they are supposed to interact with the celebrities. So we were told कि आपको बहुत जोर से ताली बजानी है. जब कपिल स्टेज पे आए तो आपको कपिल कपिल शाउट करना है. और whoever comes on stage, when any performer, any celebrity or anything exciting happens, you have to clap as hard as you can. And turns out it's not forced. The audience does actually end up having a good time. So that was nice to see. And then the shoot began. And now I'm going to answer the biggest question that you have in your mind. Is Kapil Sharma Show scripted? Does it all take place in one take? Are the celebrities nice? Is the audience allowed to leave? Do you get food? All of these questions surprisingly have very simple answers. The production team is very nice. You are allowed to go to the washroom before the shoot begins. You are not allowed to leave while the camera is rolling. But of course, there are enough cuts and enough breaks so that the audience is comfortable. You get water in the middle of the shoot. You get refreshments afterwards. And all in all, if you're wondering if the Kapil Sharma Show is scripted or if the audience is actually as enthusiastic as they're supposed to be, that is all true. What you see on your TV screens is exactly what happens when the cameras are not rolling. 1.5 hours takes around 4 hours to shoot. So it's a lot of cuts, it's a lot of takes, it's a lot of touch up of the makeup for the celebrities. But it's all quite good entertainment. Turns out there are a lot of adult jokes that go around on the set which gets edited out because obviously it's a family show. But all in all, the experience was pretty great. I mean, seeing the celebrities perform right there, their confidence, their charm, and something that I found that was really commendable of the team was that everyone was able to improvise so well on stage. I mean, of course, the show is scripted, the skits are scripted, and the performers tend to forget dialogues. Navjot Singh Sidhu actually does a pretty good job of making it feel like he's reading the shairi right off his head, but actually he reads it. So maybe that is something that I have spoiled for you now. Shilpa Shetty and Anurag Basu and Geeta Kapoor were all pretty nice, and turns out when they gave the phone to the member of the audience, they actually let them take them away. I mean, if you hear reports that Kapil Sharma is obnoxious, he's rude, I did not feel it. Maybe it's because he has just been married and it has made him a changed man. He does still flirt with the celebrities, but which is a healthy dose of flirting which keeps the show interesting and entertaining. And finally, I think all that is left to talk about was how did it feel to see myself on TV. I did not know that the episode was airing when it actually did. When we asked the crew told us that it takes around 20 to 25 days for them to edit and upload the episode. Turns out they took only 3 days because the episode aired on the 10th of February. When I woke up this morning, I actually had a lot of messages on my phone when people were telling me, hey, we got to see you on TV for a split second and that you were shown twice. I think the cameraman really loved you. And ultimately, I think it was a great experience for me, especially because my parents got to see it and they are good fans of the show. If they enjoyed it, if it was a special moment for them, it automatically makes the experience elevate to a whole new level for me as well. If you or your family members are fans of Kapil Sharma and you're planning to go to Bombay, make sure you write out to the team. My family members loved it. I had a good time, and I'll link the episode down below if they upload it on YouTube. I'm not sure, and maybe you can spot me as well. And that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you are fans of the Kapil Sharma Show, have fun watching me in the episode. And I'm going to go watch Gully Boy this weekend. So maybe you want to wait up to see my video on that and then decide whether you want to watch it. That's all. Thank you for watching. If you liked it, like the video, tell me how much you like or dislike the Kapil Sharma Show, and make sure you subscribe. I come up with these videos every week, sometimes one, sometimes two, sometimes three, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.